Dr. Myles Munroe for a new series that uncovers the truth behind your destiny. The revelation begins right now.
To the program today to help us answer those questions and many more, because I believe God does have a plan and a purpose, a vision and a destiny for your life. All the way from Bahamas is a great man of God, a dear friend. He's the founder and president of the Bahama Faith Ministries International. He is a best-selling author, and we're going to talk today about his book, The Pursuit of Purpose, and I wish you'd please make welcome with Barbara and I to Inspiration Today, Pastor and Dr. Myles Munroe. Myles.
Most importantly, friends.
Friend, my friend, my
David
dear
and Barbara,
friend, my
it's good to
special
be
friend.
back.
And, always good to have you here.
INSP is what I call a bright spot in the galaxy of life.
Hallelujah.
Thank you.
And I thank God that
the
the
Lord.
satellites in the heavens are picking up the signal from INSP, because this is truly a place where light is covering the world. In the Bahamas, where I'm from, we watch INSP
Surprised you
every
didn't say where
day.
God lives.
Well, you know God lives there.
I'm sure.
Now that you know, I don't need to say it anymore. You say it for
I'll
me.
say it for you.
But I just want to say that INSP is a tremendous contribution to the development of our countries, because in the Bahamas and the Caribbean where I'm from, we are bombarded by the signals of cable television stations and cable programming, and some of those programmings are not the best for cultural development in our nations. The moral standards,
Or
the
in
values,
America, or around the
that's
world.
right. And the values that those programs perpetrate are not healthy for us. So INSP is what I call a strategic alternative for national development in the country.
Oh, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
It's a strategic alternative for your life.
That's right.
You have a choice. You know, we face choices every day. I don't want to get off subject here, but God gave us 5 natural senses,
Yes.
which are gateways to our body, soul, and spirit. So what we choose to watch or listen to shapes, I believe,
we
our
become.
destiny and what we
Absolutely.
become. Let's talk about destiny today.
You know, when I talk about this subject, I really come alive, because I have been researching the concept of purpose and destiny for the past 31 years.
You've made it a life
And
study.
it's my life
That
study.
and the kingdom.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about the subject because I think every human being in the world was born for a reason. As a matter of fact, there are 5 questions that every human being is asking themselves. 5 questions. And I call them the questions of the human heart. 6.8 billion people watching this program right now are all asking the same questions, whether they are in India, or China, Japan, in Brazil, Africa, Caribbean, Canada, or somewhere in Louisiana. Everyone is asking the same questions, and these questions control everything we do. We wear what we wear because of these questions. We go to work every day because of these questions. We get stuck in traffic and stay there for hours trying to get to a place we hate, called a job, because of these 5 questions. These 5 questions control our environment. They control our economies. These 5 questions control our families. They even cause the destruction of families. These 5 questions control why young people join gangs, why a young man would fight to steal a pair of Nike from someone. These 5 questions are so powerful, they make a man who considers himself wealthy join a golf club, some country club, and drive certain cars. These 5 questions control everything we do, whether we live under a bridge on a cardboard box or whether we live in a castle near a lake. The same questions control both the man living under the bridge and the one living on the hill. What are these 5 questions?
You've
And
got
by the
my
way,
attention.
these 5 questions, Dave and Barbara, are the questions that if you don't get them answered, you can never live a full life. And yet, every human being is asking these 5 questions. Let me give them to you. The first question is, who am I? The average person listening to this show and watching this program right now have not answered that question yet. Matter of fact, 99% of the people on planet Earth have not answered that question. Now, that's a very audacious statement, but you see, based on my encounter, my research, my studies, and my attempts to help people, people haven't dealt with that question because it's a question of identity.
Why do you think people don't have a sense of who they are?
Well, the question, who am I, is a frightening question because society doesn't allow you to discover it. our culture, whether it is in India, you got the caste system, or in Russia, where they got the social pressure, or whether it's in America, where you've got the pressure of the Joneses and trying to keep up. See, our culture doesn't allow you to be yourself, to discover who you are. The world wants to make you who they want you to be, and if you attempt to move away from that, you become an irritation to society. So that first question is critical. Who am I? The second question is, where am I from? That question sounds very simple, but it's not. Because when you ask a person where they're from, they may tell you, I come from this state, or I came from this, this race or something. That question has nothing to do with your racial or ethnic background. Where I'm from is a very strategic question, important question, and the average person have never answered that question. The third question that every human must answer to live a full life is, why am I here? Why do I exist? Why am I on earth? What did I come here for? Is there a reason for my life? And then the fourth question is, what can I do? Do you know that 98% of the population on this planet will die never fully realizing their true ability? Scientists have proven this scientifically, that we only use, for example, 10% of our brain power.
A small portion. Yeah.
Imagine, we have built cities on 10% of our brain power.
But how do we unlock the other 90%?
We're going to talk about that in this series. But that question is critical. What can I do? And the last question every human being must answer to become successful, effective, and to be a contributor to humanity in life is, where am I going? Now, I want to go over these questions with you and give you one word to identify the gravity of the question. First question, who am I? That's the question of identity. And 90% of the people in the world are suffering from an identity crisis. That's why we wear other people. We wear Calvin Klein. We wear Nike. We wear Jordan. We wear people because we don't have a value for ourselves.
Or we're trying to take that identity and make it part of us.
That's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, some people think that if they don't wear a certain person's identity, they're not valuable. Look at the movie stars walking the red carpet. I mean, during the Academy Awards and all those great programs, what do they talk about? Which dress is she? No, whose dress is she wearing?
Right.
They're wearing people's names. Because you see,
their jewelry, their shoes,
we
everything.
have
Right.
no identity,
Right.
we have to adopt other people's identity. You see. Second question.
Before you get to the second question, how do people watching right now who are saying, yeah, I get it, I hear that, who am I? How do people answer that question?
That's why they got to stay tuned. Because I'm not going to give the answers yet.
All right.
Let's deal with the problem first.
Okay.
Who am I is identity question. Second question, where am I from, is the question of heritage. You know, when I ask a white man, where are you from? He'd say, well, I'm from Scotland. My parents are from, Paraguay. My heritage is from England or something. I'm not talking about your ethnic
Heritage,
background.
right.
If you ask a black man, where are you from? His answer is, well, originally I'm from Africa. I'm not talking about Africa. Because you see, if you identify where you're from by your ethnicity, then if you try to get your identity from your ethnicity, you would be so confused if you try to go back. Because you are so mixed up. All of us are mixed up.
We all are, sure.
That you would never find your true self if you try to use your ethnicity to find where you're from. Third question, why am I here? That's the question of purpose, destiny. And we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
And then the fourth question, what can I do? That's the question of potential. What is my true ability? And the last question, where am I going, is the question of destiny. Where is my future? What is my future address in life? These 5 questions control the entire human race. And that's why a man would work 2 jobs and abandon his kids and frustrate his wife because he's trying to find his identity by competing with other people to buy toys like fancy cars and nice clothes so he could feel accepted because he doesn't feel like he has identity. Why would a young woman sell her body to get money to buy clothing so she could feel like she's important? Because she's struggling with, who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? What can I do? And so people do dumb things to try and answer these questions. Let me take another step further. I believe that you and I were created to live life with meaning.
Absolutely.
No one came to this planet as an experiment. And we're going to talk about that and prove that in this series this week.
So